Hello, I'm Erin Thomas Wong. I'm the founder of the Life Friendly Business podcast, and this is episode 40, and it's the final episode of season 2. So, thank you so much for listening so far. I've had some amazing interviews during this last season, loads to catch up on if you haven't listened to them all yet. And I've absolutely loved getting your feedback. There's honestly nothing more satisfying than receiving messages saying, Erin, it feels like you're speaking to me. So please do reach out and let me know what you would like me to cover in season 3. But if you want to stay in touch, please do sign up to my email list, because I'm very regular with sending out emails and tips and inspiration on there. And you can use the link to sign up and get your free 7 steps to a more life-friendly business checklist. And then you will be the first to know about season 3 and all the other things that I'm doing. And if you'd like to work with me, you can visit the website and find out more about the Cocoon VIP membership and the Evolve 12-week mastermind, which is starting again in September. So that's lifefriendlybusiness.com. So to end this season, we're going to be talking about something which maybe we don't talk about enough. And that's about those times when you really feel like giving up on your business. And, you know, this is an absolutely natural part of being an entrepreneur, because it's not easy. It is hard to run your own business, and you have to really love what you're doing in order to get over all the challenges that we face when we're running a small business. So I wanted to talk about that. Also, myself, this is my 5th business, so I have been through closing down businesses and selling businesses before. And so I do understand a bit about the processes that we go through when we're thinking about these things. And also, I do want to stop you from making any rash decisions before you've thought things through. So we're going to be talking about when you feel like giving up. And I know that there's lots of different elements to that. There's the feeling that you're not getting any traction, that you should be doing better by now, you should be making more money by now, you should be having more clients by now, feeling like you're not in control of the way that the business is running, feeling like you're just so stressed all the time and you're not actually enjoying what you're doing. And these are things that we absolutely need to take into consideration, because for you to build a life-friendly business, it's all about doing what you love. So if you're not loving it right now, let's take a moment to think about why that might be and some actions that you might need to take going forward. So my first bit of advice, if you're feeling like you might want to give up, or if things are feeling really hard right now, is to just stop and pause. The analogy of the snow globe. Right now, your head is probably full of snow, all these millions of thoughts whizzing around your head, and you can't see clearly right now. So put the snow globe down and let the snow settle. Let your thoughts settle. Now, sometimes this might be a day. Other times it might be a week. Other times it might be a month. Like, this is a process that you need to go through. And the most important thing is to stop yourself from making knee-jerk reactions. If you have put a lot of time and energy and maybe money into this business that you've been running, and now you think maybe it's not right, don't give up too quickly. You need to go through a methodical process of thinking about whether it is the right thing to do to end it, or whether there's things that you can do to salvage what you've created so far. So I thought it would be useful to kind of split this into some different scenarios here, because not everyone is in the same situation with how they're feeling about when they feel like they want to give up. We've all got different reasons for getting to that point. So the first scenario is that you just feel really frustrated that you're just not getting anywhere with your business. Maybe you just feel like, come on now, I've been working on this a long time, maybe it's months, maybe it's years, and you don't feel like that you're getting the traction. So what I'd love you to do is actually reflect on the evidence, because it's very easy to feel like things aren't working, but are you actually looking at your, obviously finances is quite a kind of easy thing in a way to think, I'm not actually even paying myself, or I'm not paying myself enough. But are you actually looking at things like your your social media analytics to see whether people are engaging with your posts, whether actually over the last 2 years, your following has increased by however many percent? Are you looking at your website analytics, your Google Analytics, to see if people are actually getting to your website? If they are getting to your website and they're coming through Google, for example, because they've been searching for something and your website is coming up as the answer, if they're dropping off then and they're not converting, that's a really good sign that it's something to do with your website, or it's something to do with your messaging. So let's look at the facts and try and take as much as possible the emotion out of that feeling of it's not really going anywhere. But also, I would say in that situation, you really do need to surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up, because it is incredibly lonely running your own business, and it's incredibly lonely having to make massive decisions about whether you're going to continue your business or not. And sometimes, I've said before, I know that we all have experiences in our lives where our friends and family just don't get it. They don't get why we would want to run our own business, why we would want the risk and the uncertainty of doing that. So you need to surround yourself with the right people, and that's exactly why I've created the community that I have, so that we can do that. So another scenario you might be facing is that you're simply not making enough money. We need money to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage, to feed our kids, all those things. So I want you to look at, is your pricing actually right? What have you based your pricing on? I mean, pricing is such a difficult thing. And, sometimes it can be the case that you've done some research in your industry and you're just matching what they're charging, or, but a lot of times I think it's most likely that you will be undercharging rather than overcharging. So you need to look at your pricing. Are you actually charging right? And what is your profit margin like? Like, let's take it back to the bare bones of, if you're producing something and the cost to produce is only a little bit less than how much you're charging for it, then you're never going to make the money that you need to make. So you need to make sure that these fundamentals are in place. And that's where, if you're not sure about this, if you're thinking, how do I even know that? That's why you might need to reach out and get some business support, a business mentor like me, do an online course, all these different things. The Cocoon, we have all the information in there to help you. Also, is your messaging right? So if people are not buying your product or service, are you actually telling them how it can help them and why they need it? And, going back before that, are you actually targeting the right people? Are the people that you're targeting, do they actually feel like they've got a problem that they need solving? Because sometimes we can just decide to work with people because we like the idea of working with them. And, I get a lot of people saying, I want to work with mums. I want to help mums. And that's wonderful. But are they the right people for your product or service, for example? And also, if you're not earning enough money because you're not making enough sales, is your website up to scratch? Are people coming to your website through your social media posts? So something is appealing to them, but when they get there, you're losing them. Now, that could be a messaging problem. It could be a functionality problem on your website. It could be that your website just isn't up to scratch. And, one of my very early mentoring sessions with the Dorset Growth Hub down here in Bournemouth. So it was just when I was running Making Mumpreneurs, which is what this business used to be called. And I was just starting to sell the Cocoon membership. And the business mentor said to me, you're an e-commerce website now, and this website is not good enough. It's not professional enough. And it was one of those moments of gulp, but I needed someone to tell me that, because I wouldn't know that, would I? We don't know everything. And also we can't see things from other people's point of view all the time. We have to try really hard to, but sometimes you need that reality check. So if you're not earning enough money, could it be that your pricing's not right? Your profit margin is too small? Is your messaging actually right? Are you telling people how you can help them? And this is all to do with your marketing, such an important part of being a business owner. And also, is your website up to scratch? Is it good enough? Is it trustworthy? Do people trust you enough to pay you money over your website? Thirdly, are you just feeling like you want to give up because you're so stressed and overwhelmed all the time? This is where the life friendly business approach comes in. This is exactly why I talk about this stuff, because you are in control of your business. And right now, if you feel like your business is running you, something has to change. The first thing that needs to change is you need to get your boundaries in place. What's important to you? What hours do you want to be working? What hours can you work with all your other responsibilities? What do you need in order to thrive? Maybe that's to do your regular exercise class, to have some time out before the kids come home from school. Maybe it's time to, one thing that I've talked about with my Evolve Masterminders is actually carving out time during their workday to prepare dinner for when the kids get home, because what was happening was they were working like all out until school pickup, and then obviously the kids might want to chat and they want to do the things, and then you're like, oh no, I've got to sort out dinner, and it was causing a lot of stress and overwhelm. So what can we do to make your schedule work for you? So this is all about the life-friendly business approach, and it's part of that is about being kind to yourself and being the best boss that you can be. Now, if you want to learn more about the life-friendly business approach and the 7 steps, do download my free checklist, which will go through these different areas, and you can rate yourselves on how you're faring so far, and then make a plan to do better and make your business more life-friendly. So that's lifefriendlybusiness.com/7-steps. And then number 4, maybe you feel like giving up because there's just too much to do. You literally cannot handle the workload. You feel like you're just a hamster on a wheel, and you're not doing anything very well because you're just trying to do everything. Stop. You need to focus down on the most important things. Number 1, are you actually aware of what your 5% activities are? Your 5% activities are the things that will actually move your business forward. We can spend hours and hours and hours wasting time on 95% of the stuff which will not move the needle, which will not bring the sales in. We need to be focusing down on the 5%. Once again, if you don't know what they are, you need to get business support, because these things are crucial to the success of your business and to stop the overwhelm, basically. And the second thing is, if you've got too much to do, maybe it's time to outsource. Outsourcing is not as scary as it sounds. You're not employing people. You're not having to deal with holiday pay and pensions and all those kind of scary things. We're talking about saying to a virtual assistant who charges £30 an hour, £25 an hour, a bit more maybe. We're saying, right, what tasks are you able to do for me that you can take off my plate so that I can concentrate on the stuff that I can only do? And that money that you invest in a VA, for example, £100 a month, hopefully the idea is that you would make that back tenfold, or not tenfold, but, make that back very easily with more client time or creating more products, whatever it is that only you can do in your business. You're freeing up time from all the other stuff that's going on in your head. If you find social media and Canva and things like that a rabbit hole where you are wasting hours and hours, and then you're feeling completely stressed because you haven't done the other stuff in your business, it is time to think about outsourcing. And I know that that is scary when you're not earning the money that you want to earn, but sometimes you need to invest in order to grow. So they're the 4 different scenarios. I wonder whether you can relate to any of them. So we've got the just feeling like you're not getting anywhere, not earning enough money, just feeling too stressed and overwhelmed all the time, and feeling like there's just too much to do. So hopefully I've given you some food for thought if you're in that place right now where you feel like you might want to give up. And obviously, let's put this out there. Running a small business is not for everyone. I do not subscribe to all of the 6 and 7 figure toxic chatter that anyone can set up a business and earn amazing money. I'm sorry, but I don't actually agree. That might be controversial, but I think that it takes a hell of a lot of resilience to be a small business owner, and perseverance. And it's understandable that some people just find it too much, and that actually going back to a regular job where they know what's expected of them and they get regular money and all those things, there is nothing wrong with that. And I understand why people get to that place, but I'd really love to help you, make sure that that's the right decision for you. If you are in that place. So please do reach out to me, erin@lifefriendlybusiness.com. But yeah, I mean, this is the reality of running a business. We have ups and downs, and hopefully the ups are much greater than the downs for you. But if they're not, it really is time to reach out and get help. There's so much help out there. And now with the amazing online world, you can have access to this at your fingertips. But if you would like to talk to me about coming into the cocoon or joining the Evolve Mastermind and getting that really wraparound support to help you make a go of your business and make it work, all this time and energy that you've put into it, please don't give up too easily. But at the same time, if it really does feel like it's not working for you, there is no judgment there. Please, I've had people say to me before they've decided to end their business and they're like, I feel really bad saying that to you. Please do not. Like I say, this is not for everyone. You have to love what you do. And you have to love running the business as well. I think that's something that's really important, is being realistic about the actual day-to-day running of a business. Often we start businesses because we love what we do. We love what we can offer. We love what we can create. But if we're going to run a business, we need to be doing all the other stuff as well, the marketing, the admin, the finance, all those things. And for some people, that just sucks the joy out of it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it openly. And that's what I love about, the women that I work with as well. It really is that environment where people are very honest about how they're feeling. And that is the best thing to do, because then you can get the support that you need. So that's it. That is the end of season 2. Yeah, absolutely. I love doing this podcast. It's amazing. And I would love to hear more from you about what you would like me to cover in season 3. And please do sign up to the email list so I can keep in touch with you at lifefriendlybusiness.com/7-steps. And I will speak to you in a few months' time. Take care.